Israel's most lethal warrior Moshe Dayan. Moshe Dayan is recognized today as one of the symbols of war that Israel will never have again. But what made this man a historical figure? Join us on this journey as we explore the history and evolution of Israel's deadliest warrior, Moshe Dayan. Are you ready? Then subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new videos. Let's get started. 1. His beginnings. Born on May 20, 1915, in the Haganah kibbutz in Israel, he grew up in an environment where agriculture and Zionist ideology converge. He grew up immersed in the cooperative community, where the values of collective work and defense of the land were fundamental. From an early age, he showed exceptional determination and joined the Haganah, the Jewish paramilitary force, at the age of 14. During the 1920s, under the British Mandate, Dayan engaged in clandestine activities, smuggling weapons and defending his people against Arab attacks. Tensions in the region escalated during World War II, and Dayan, with only one functioning eye due to a previous injury, served in the British Army. The experience honed his military and strategic skills, the black patch covering his left eye, the result of an incident during a special operation against enemy forces, became his trademark. This physical mishap not only symbolized his bravery, but also became an essential part of his identity. Indeed, Moshe Dayan's uniqueness was embodied in his iconic eye patch, a badge that transcended his public image. In French-occupied Syria during World War II, courageous act cost him the sight in his left eye. The lens of a telescope embedded in his face marked the beginning of his visual identity. This black patch, originally a response to disability, became a symbol of fearless determination. Dayan didn't just wear a patch. He carried with him the psychological damage that drove him to overcome physical limitations. His reputation for daring solidified, and the patch became an essential part of his presence. Beyond the physical, the patch symbolized Dayan's ability to face adversity with courage. As he rose through the military ranks and ventured into politics, the patch became as distinctive as his military strategy. The image of the leader with the eye patch commanded respect and, at times, fear, marking a visual chapter in Moshe Dayan's history. After that, Dayan quickly rose through the ranks of the Haganah and distinguished himself as a commander during the War of Independence in 1948. His leadership in the defense of Jerusalem and his ability to adapt to the complexities of the conflict contributed to the creation and consolidation of the State of Israel. A childhood in Haganah and early involvement in the Haganah laid the foundation for Moshe Dayan's remarkable career. His story, rooted in the origins of Zionism and the struggle for Jewish self-determination, foreshadowed his later rise as a renowned military and political leader. 2. Military rise. In the 1950 years, Moshe Dayan cemented his reputation as a military strategist in the aftermath of the War of Independence. He rose through the ranks to become commander of Jerusalem and eventually chief of staff of the Israel Defense Forces, IDF. His unique military vision and ability to make bold decisions set him apart in the young and fragile nation. Thus, Dayan left the military ranks to enter the Israeli political arena. His wartime experience gave him a unique perspective, and he quickly became involved in the Israeli parliament. He joined David Ben-Gurion's center-left party, where his reputation as a rebellious renegade resonated deeply. Although his straightforward and often provocative style clashed with traditional Israeli politics, Dayan emerged as an influential figure. His transition to politics was marked not only by his tactical skills, but also by his pragmatic approach. Dayan advocated policies that addressed the complex realities of the region and forged unexpected alliances to ensure Israel's security. His political involvement not only expanded his influence, but also demonstrated his ability to adapt to different scenarios. His participation in the 1956 Sinai War cemented his status as a military leader. Victory in this war led him to the Israeli parliament and the center-left party led by David Ben-Gurion. His rebellious personality and renegade reputation attracted attention. Even tales of high-speed car accidents revealed his fearless character. But Dayan was not only a shrewd military leader, he was also a passionate lover of archaeology. His fascination with antiquities led him into controversial activities and earned him the label of antiquities thief. Despite the criticism, Dayan defended his pursuit as a mystical connection to Israel's history. He faced the challenge of containing attacks by Arab fedayeen and pioneered nighttime special operations tactics to deter future attacks. The creation of Unit 101, aimed at swift retaliation, underscored his commitment to defending the Jewish people. Although controversial, the unit served its purpose before being disbanded. His ability to think outside the box was demonstrated in the 1956 Sinai War, where he led innovative military operations. Dayan not only demonstrated bravery on the front lines, but also devised tactics that surprised his opponents. His strategic approach contributed significantly to Israel's victory in the conflict. However, Dayan's legacy was not limited to his military prowess. He also played a crucial role in the formation of the Israel Defense Forces, IDF. His leadership as Chief of Staff laid the foundation for the modern Israeli army and was a milestone in his military career. Dayan demonstrated that strategic innovation and adaptability were essential for success in the ever-changing military landscape of the Middle East. His bold approach influenced future generations of military leaders and left an indelible mark on Israel's military history. The 1960s saw the consolidation of Moshe Dayan as a prominent figure on the international stage. His role in politics and his forays into archaeology reflected the versatility of a man whose influence extended beyond military boundaries. Let's now turn to one of the most important episodes in Moshe Dayan's career. But first, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss any new videos. Now, let's continue. 3. The Six-Day War. The Six-Day War, a pivotal episode in Israel's history, saw Moshe Dayan play a central role as Minister of Defense. In 1967, tensions in the Middle East reached a boiling point, with the threat of conflict with Egypt, Syria, and Jordan looming. Israel was at a crossroads, and Dayan emerged as the leader needed to meet the challenge. In the days leading up to the conflict, uncertainty and fear gripped the nation. Despite his strong and confident image, Dayan conveyed a nervous and hesitant message to the population. However, his military experience and strategic vision gave him the ability to lead at critical moments. Dayan fever swept the country, with demonstrations of support clamoring for his leadership. His ability to inspire confidence became a crucial element as Israel prepared for war. Faced with the impending conflict, Dayan formed a unity government and assumed responsibility for the country's defense. The outbreak of war on June 5, 1967, was a defining moment. Israel launched synchronized preemptive operations, destroying much of the Egyptian Air Force in a masterful strike. Despite being outnumbered, Israeli forces demonstrated astonishing military prowess, winning rapid victories in Sinai, Gaza, the West Bank, and the Old City of Jerusalem. The chapter examines how Dayan, in his role as Minister of Defense, played a fundamental role in the planning and execution of the operations. His leadership at a critical moment contributed significantly to Israel's victory and the reshaping of the geopolitical map of the region. The capture of the Old City, with the famous announcement "Ha-Bayit Beyadenu," "The Temple Mount is in our hands," became a historic moment. Dayan ordered Israeli paratroopers into the Old City, securing Jewish control of the holy sites after nearly 2 decades. 4. Its impact. Moshe Dayan's influence extended beyond the military to the political sphere and, surprisingly, to archaeology. After the Six-Day War, Dayan ventured into politics and served in various government positions. However, his legacy was also marked by controversy and a penchant for looting antiquities. Known for his strong and rebellious personality, Dayan became a central figure in Israeli politics. Despite his reputation as a military leader, his foray into politics was not without controversy. His leadership style, though effective in war, drew criticism and division within the domestic political landscape. Yet, a lesser-known but equally fascinating facet of Moshe Dayan was his involvement in archaeology. He developed an almost mystical fascination with the relics that tell Israel's story. This passion led him to engage in the looting of antiquities, a behavior that sparked controversy and ethical debates. A self-taught archaeologist, Dayan amassed an impressive collection of urns and decorative plaques from ancient tombs. His approach to archaeology was imbued with a unique, almost mystical vision of preserving the traces of Israel's past. Although his actions were condemned, Dayan remained undeterred, defending his right to preserve the nation's history according to his personal vision. This chapter explores the tension between the political leader and the passionate archaeologist that coexisted in the figure of Moshe Dayan. While he continued to play a central role in Israeli politics, his archaeological activities sparked debates about ethics and legality. Dayan's duality as a respected political leader and archaeological pirate creates a compelling and complex narrative. 5. The legacy. More than a complex figure who left an indelible mark on Israel's history, Moshe Dayan's legacy is nuanced by his military achievements, political endeavors, and controversial passion for archaeology. After his pivotal role in the Six-Day War and his transition into politics, Dayan continued to defy expectations and stir controversy. His military legacy endures as the architect of victory in the Six-Day War, a bold and strategic leader who defended Israel's interests. His political legacy, however, is more ambiguous, marked by polarization and internal criticism. Despite his reputation as a military leader, Dayan faced challenges and divisions while holding prominent political roles. Dayan's duality is further reflected in his involvement in archaeology, a lesser-known but equally significant aspect of his life. His obsession with antiquities and his willingness to challenge ethical conventions left a unique mark on his legacy. Dayan, the respected military leader, coexisted with Dayan, the passionate archaeologist, creating a multifaceted narrative. This chapter explores how Moshe Dayan's life came to an end, leaving behind a multifaceted legacy that continues to be the subject of debate and reflection in Israel. His death in 1981 marked the end of an era, but his influence lives on through accounts of the Six-Day War and the controversies surrounding his political career and archaeological activities. Moshe Dayan's legacy will be remembered in Israel's history as a figure who transcended conventional leadership boundaries. Undoubtedly one of Israel's best-known military heroes, he was not just a soldier, but a strategist in every sense of the word, both political and military. More than an individual, I would say he was a war machine. He left a legacy that surely no other will match. We can only wait and see what history has in store for us.